Antibiotic resistance occurs when bacteria is no longer susceptible to the killing or growth inhibiting properties of an antibiotic agent. Bacteria cells are capable of mutation and the collection of new genetic material to avoid persecution from antibiotic agents. Our dilemma now is that we can't develop and produce new antibiotics at a rate equivalent to that of antibiotic resistance. If we continue down this slippery slope, the modern medicine and procedures that we take for granted will not be possible in the future due to the risk of contracting untreatable infections. Surviving in a post-antibiotic era is not some fictional plot for an action-packed sci-fi horror movie. For some people, especially those living in developing countries, it is a reality. Many populations around the world have infections that are difficult or impossible to treat. According to a 2014 British Antimicrobial Resistance Review, antimicrobial resistance infections currently claim around 50,000 lives annually across Europe and the USA alone. Worldwide, they estimate that the figure is to be around 700,000, and by 2050 it could be 10 million. The economic cost related to this many deaths every year would cost the world up to 100 trillion US dollars. Australia has one of the lowest resistance rates in the world despite the fact that we rate reasonably high on the antibiotic usage per capita scale. It is important that we maintain these low resistance rates for the sustainability of antibiotic treatment in the future. Strategies already in place include the international launch of antibiotics handled with care by the WHO during the World First Antibiotic Awareness Week in 2015. In Australia, a One Health approach is being coordinated by the Australian Antimicrobial Resistance Prevention and Containment Steering Group. This involves coordination of strategies across human health, animal health, and agriculture. Antibiotic resistance as a public health issue will affect the weakest in our society first, children. In response to this, a school-based program dealing with children and incorporating parents is a recommended strategy. By targeting children and educating them and their parents, thereby creating a generation of informed consumers, we will enable the breakdown of the culture that condones inappropriate and overuse of antibiotics. Other successful school-based programs such as the Western Australian state government-funded Better Health course have made significant improvements in fighting childhood obesity and as such prove such a model can be effective. Creating an effective strategy to combat antibiotic resistance will involve using public health values that promote the education of individual and the wider community, that work towards solving community health issues that encourage public participation in healthcare, and that foster accessibility to knowledge and resources. The implementation of these public health values will work to ensure better community health outcomes and a sustainable mode of treatment for infection, and overall contribute to a greater and healthier society. Our health outcomes relate to the upstream determinants of health. Our strategy would target culture, media, language, remoteness, education, family, neighborhood, knowledge, and ideology, health, behavior, vaccination, and immune status. There are many stakeholders who would have an interest in antibiotic resistance education and prevention strategies, such as the Centre of Disease and Control, Australia's Department of Health and Education, the World Health Organization, and the Public Health Association of Australia. Many have already placed great emphasis and interest on the antibiotic resistance issue and would need to be consulted for the development of coordinated and effective campaign strategies.
Creating a generation of informed healthcare consumers.